Good morning. It's Thursday, January 30th. We're talking some more NBA player props on today's smallish NBA slate. My name's CJ Curry. Thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. If you're new to the channel, haven't subscribed yet, and you're into playing player props, this is the channel for you. Definitely hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. Click that bell, meaning turn on all those notifications so that anytime I drop a new piece of content, YouTube does a better job of notifying you. And if you can leave a like on today's video, I'd appreciate that as well. Let's set today's like goal at 74.9 likes, meaning I'm going for 75 or more. I need your help. Hit the like button for me if you're liking what I'm sharing with you in this video. All right, if you're not playing on PrizePicks yet, jump into PrizePicks now because they're running a Patrick Mahomes free square, meaning if he has just one passing yard or more in the Super Bowl against my Philadelphia Eagles, then that is a winning pick. You can put up to $25, sometimes $30 on this free square promotion. I was able to max it out to $25. I used yesterday's player of the day, the pick from yesterday's video, Kristaps Porzingis over his first half points. I got him at 9. People who took him later in the day got him at 10 first half points. But it didn't matter what you took him at because he went over both 9 and 10 first half points with ease. So now I just wait for Patrick Mahomes to throw that one passing yard and I cash out. Probably the easiest money I've made on PrizePicks in a really, really long time. So definitely take advantage of that. And also, PrizePicks is doing a promotion where you make your first deposit, play your first $5. Whether you win or lose, they're going to give you $50 back. So to take advantage of that, go down to the description of today's video. I've left a link for you. Tap that link, use promo code CJ Curry. And if you're looking for links for other apps like PrizePicks, like Underdog or Sleeper or Better, I've got all those links down there as well. Get yourself some free promo picks, promo cash. It's all waiting for you down in the description. All right, so what are we playing on today's NBA slate? Well, I was kind of scouring the NBA slate. It's kind of a smaller slate, and there are some pending injury news. Guys like Anthony Davis, who's already been ruled out. He's going to be out for about a week. No surprise there. Anthony Davis always getting hurt. Walker Kessler's questionable. LeBron James is questionable. Alperen Sengun is questionable. You got Alexander Sarr of the Washington Wizards, who's questionable. Didn't play last night. Jonas Valanciunas ended up starting in his spot. Jalen Johnson out for the season for the Atlanta Hawks. That's a big one because we're going to be talking about Evan Mobley today. I think he's in a great spot. Jalen Suggs is listed as questionable for my Orlando Magic. Hopefully Suggs plays tonight against Portland. We could really use his energy back out on the floor. Then you got John Collins of the Jazz, who's listed as questionable. Jeremy Grant of the Trailblazers listed as questionable. Naz Reid is questionable. Clint Capella is out, meaning probably more minutes for Okongwu and his backup, which is Larry Nance. Karis LeVert's doubtful. Don't expect him to play. Bogdanovich is out for Atlanta. Questionable is Dorian Finney-Smith Jr. Sam Merrill of the Cavaliers, questionable as well. So a lot of injury news. I mean, that's just the name of the game. We're at the midway point of the NBA season, and unfortunately, a lot of players are getting hurt or sick, but we're going to take advantage of that today. Darius Garland is one guy who's expected to come back today for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And so for that reason, I'm looking at Donovan Mitchell to go under on his points plus assists, which are sitting at 30.5. So the Cavaliers will be mostly healthy outside of LeVert. LeVert comes off the bench anyway. Ty Jerome's going to pretty much soak up all of his minutes and usage. But with Garland coming back into the fold after resting, Donovan Mitchell, this is a perfect opportunity for him to get a night off. Hopefully that's what happens. The projection models are really liking Donovan Mitchell under 30.5 points plus assists. So let's take a look at some data on this. First and foremost, we're going to go out to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. This tool is so important because it's going to go out and it's aggregating sportsbook data. It's looking at real sports betting lines, the way that the money, the action's coming in on these different player props. Is it coming in on the over? Is it coming in on the under? And then it strips out the juice or the VIG. In other words, the tax, so to speak, that these sports books are charging you to place these bets, and gives you true odds or fair odds in this case. And so Donovan Mitchell sitting out here at 30.5 points plus assists. This is the top way to play Spida right now, is under 30.5 points and assists, giving you about a 53% chance of this prop hitting, which still means there's about a 47% chance that it won't. But if you take a look at where he's at on some of these other sports books, like FanDuel, like DraftKings, they have him at 29.5, meaning PrizePicks is about a point too high right now on his points plus assists line at 30.5. So don't be surprised if this gets bumped down to an even 30 or possibly all the way down to 29.5. Now, why are people betting the under on Donovan Mitchell at 30.5 points plus assists? Well, I already mentioned Darius Garland's supposed to be coming back today after taking the night off in the previous game. And on top of that, you're going to see some projections for a guy like Donovan Mitchell that severely skew toward the under. So take a look at RotoWire here, one of my favorite tools, bar none, especially if you're playing on PrizePicks or Underdog or Sleeper or Sportsbooks. It supports a plethora of different sites and apps. If you want to try this out, 2-day free pass. I've left a link down in the description. Click that link, try this tool out. They also have a mobile app that works really well. So really liking what RotoWire has built here, but take a look at the lean less options. A lot of them are leaning less when it comes to Donovan Mitchell today, and the top lean less option happens to be the 30.5 points and assists. So we bust open this player card here. 26.8 is the actual RotoWire projection for Donovan Mitchell, which is a 3.7 points plus assist differential. His line versus the PrizePicks line. So the projection versus the PrizePicks line, quite a big gap there. Now, Donovan Mitchell over the last 10 games or so, been kind of spotty, right? There's games where he really shows up against teams like Indiana, Minnesota, Phoenix, Philadelphia, Houston, and Miami. And then there's games where he disappears, like against Indiana, OKC, Houston, and Detroit. Now, again, Cleveland going to be full strength tonight. They won't need to ride Donovan Mitchell's coattails quite as hard. And this just sets up for a game where I think Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley should be relied on more heavily, being that Okongwu's going to be your starting center, no Clint Capella, and Jalen Johnson is out for the season, leaving a big, massive hole at that power forward position. Meaning Reza Shea is probably going to start at the 4. I think this is just a game where you give it to your bigs and ride Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley to the finish line and to victory. But nonetheless, Donovan Mitchell projecting well under 30.5 points and assists. Now, I always mention that every projection model is a little different from one model to the next, which is why I like looking and referencing different player projection models. In this case, we've got Fantasy Labs here, a totally different projection model from RotoWire. So 29.4 is their projection for Donovan Mitchell on his points plus assists, putting him under the 30.5 number, which looks really good. And then, of course, shot quality. They've got their own projections as well. They've got Donovan Mitchell at 28.93. We could round that up. We could call it 29 PA, points plus assists, but we're not going to call it 31, because if Mitchell has 31, we're in trouble. But the under looking like the way to go on Donovan Mitchell here at 30.5. Let's get on to the next pick. Second pick is Evan Mobley. I mentioned him before. I was looking at the rebounds and assists for Mobley. They're going to be undersized with Reza Shea starting at power forward, so Evan Mobley should be able to take advantage of this matchup. Even with Garland coming back, Mobley does a pretty good job of getting a couple of assists per game. So really liking the rebound and assist upside or potential here for Evan Mobley. And he's done really well against the Atlanta Hawks in the past, so he's got that going for him. Very good success in previous head-to-head matchups. So let's take a look at some Evan Mobley information real quick while we're hitting on the Cavaliers. And you punch in Evan Mobley's name at the top of the list as far as top optimal ways to play Evan Mobley. It's the rebounds and the assists at 12.5. 53.46% chance that he clears this number. We would need, obviously, 13 or more, hoping for 13 or more out of Mobley. He's a minus 130 betting favorite to go over out on a book like MGM. Fliff, minus 145 betting favorite to go over. And then you've got Hot Streak here, minus 139 betting favorite to go over. So not a lot of lines on these books, not a lot of data from these sports books in support of this app. I just don't see them offering this line on very many apps right now. Maybe that's a sign that we should take it, being that it is being offered over on PrizePicks, but nonetheless looking like a pretty solid option based on the books that we can reference. About a minus 138 fair odds for him to go over here. So looking pretty good. Let's check out the projections though, because the projections can tell you a lot of what could potentially happen if circumstances go our way. But take a look at Mobley's lines. Lean more on RotoWire, says RotoWire with their projection models on Evan Mobley at 12.5 rebounds and assists. Top lean more option is his rebounds and assists. We pop open his player card. 12.81 is the projection, putting him over by about 0.31. Now that's going to be closer to 13 rebounds and assists than 12. So we like what we're seeing there. When we take a look at some of the hit rates, he's done a really good job lately of clearing this line. Last 10 games or so, he has seen an uptick, 70% hit rate over his last 10 games of clearing this number, 12.8 rebounds plus assists in that span. But yeah, been doing a really good job of getting on the glass. And again, this is a matchup that he's exploited in the past against Atlanta, recording 20, 17, and 15 rebounds plus assists in previous matchups versus the Atlanta Hawks. It's important to note that the last two games here, the 17 and the 15, those were from this season. So that's more relevant data than the one where he had 20. But yeah, 2 for 2 this season, head-to-head against Atlanta. And again, he gets a really nice matchup here today. So let's check out a couple more projections on Evan Mobley before we switch over to our final pick of the video. If you're liking what I'm doing for you here, gang, hit the like button. Let the people know that you're vibing with what I'm doing. 13.6, though, is your projection for Evan Mobley. Fantasy Labs really big fans of Evan Mobley collecting at least 13 or more rebounds and assists. So that's a good projection. And then, of course, shot quality. We got to go check them out because they have some really sharp projection models as well. 14 is their projection. 14 rebounds plus assists according to shot quality. So there you go. Again, 3 different models. They all like Evan Mobley to clear this number of 12.5 rebounds and assists. Our last pick of the video is going to be Ja Morant. Now, the Memphis Grizzlies and Ja Morant are going up against the Houston Rockets tonight. Ja Morant, 11.5 rebounds and assists. I'm looking at that for the under in this case. Ja Morant has not done a great job this season of clearing this number. He has not done a great job this season of going up against Houston and clearing this number. He's gone under, in fact, in his last 3 head-to-head matchups against the Houston Rockets. And so I'm hoping for more of the same today out of Ja Morant. So let's take a look at this one. We're going to go back out, scour these sports books and scan them and see what's going on here with Morant. A lot of books offering this prop at 11.5, just like PrizePicks, but you're seeing a lot of people betting the under on your sports books like FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, even on sites like Underdog, Flip, Hot Streak, and Parlay Play. So all the money's coming in on the under for Ja Morant. So if you want to go against all the money coming in on the under and you want to take him over, you should probably do that out on a sports book at plus money odds so you get a bigger payout for the risk that you're taking on. But as far as we're concerned, we're playing on PrizePicks. This makes for a plus EV play. We want to make sure that when we play a pick that we're not going against the grain, that we're going with it. In this case, we are going with the grain by going under on Ja Morant, giving us about a 52% chance of staying under. So let's go run some projections on Ja Morant to see if they agree or disagree. I think by now you guys know that if I'm talking about it, then most of these projection models are going to agree that taking the under on Ja Morant is probably the favorable option. And when we do take a look at RotoWire here, most of the Ja Morant props today are leaning toward the under. So not a lot of confidence in Ja Morant's ability to go over against a tough Houston Rockets team. Of course, he's going to be taking on Dylan the Villain, his former teammate, who is now a Houston Rocket. So that should be a pretty fun game to watch. But as far as the projection for Morant, he's sitting right at 11.5, 11.52 to be exact. Now, one thing to note that with these player prop projections, it's important that you shave off about 10 to 20% off of whatever they're showing you on the projection. So if we did that with the 11.52, it'd skew closer toward 11 rebounds and assists than 12. But taking a look at Ja Morant's numbers here, only a 43% hit rate, meaning only 43% of the games that he's appeared in has he gone over, which is a majority of unders here for Ja Morant, right? 57% of the time he stays under. And if you look at recent form here, the last 10 games or so, just hasn't done a great job of clearing 11.5 rebounds and assists. 16 against San Antonio, 17 against Charlotte, 2 teams that aren't great defensively. He was able to rack up the rebounds, rack up the assists, but overall his last 10 games, averaging right around 10.1 rebounds and assists. Now, I mentioned the head-to-head games versus Houston. Done a pretty poor job at covering this prop against the Houston Rockets. Just 2, 6, and 7 rebounds and assists against Houston. So, more recently, 6 and 7, far cry from 12 or more rebounds and assists. So, again, knock on wood, we're hoping for more of the same here with Ja Morant. Now, let's run some other projections. We'll go over to Fantasy Labs and take a look at his projection there. Over on Fantasy Labs, they have him at just 10.2 rebounds and assists, putting him well under 11.5. So we love that projection if we are considering the under here. And then, of course, we're going to go over to shot quality and check out their projection. Their projection for Ja Morant, 11.2, a little closer to 11.5, but still closer to 11 than 12. And I'm okay with that. We can live with a projection of 11.2 on Ja Morant. So that's your third prop. What are you guys thinking? There's your three-piece. Extra crispy. Well done. Hopefully you put a little drink on the side. Maybe get you a biscuit to go with it as well. But yeah, I hope all these picks end up hitting. Again, the research is only the most we can do, and then the players have to go out and get the job done. But leave your comments, your thoughts, your opinions down in the comment section below. Or if there's a pick that you're really liking that I didn't discuss in today's video, leave that down in the description as well, down in the comment section. People might see that, they might tail it, and they might win, all because of you. We appreciate all your love and support. Share the video with somebody, and we'll catch you in the next one real soon. Peace.